everyone, and this video today is on simultaneous equations using the algebraic method part 2. So the first video that I've done on this, on the algebraic method, was when we already had two variables or two letters that were the same. So as you can see from these two examples, that the variables are not the same. So what we have to do is we have to multiply our equations so that there is a common number, so something is the same. Okay, so what we have here is we've got 2x plus 6y equals 38 and 3x plus 3y equals 27. So what I need to do is I need to look at my x's and my y's and see if there's anything I can do or any links already. Well, what I can see is that there's a link between the y's. Okay, if I double this equation, it will give me 6y. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do on this one. So I'm going to multiply this whole equation by 2. Okay, and when I say the whole equation, you have to multiply each part. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite them both. Okay, I'm actually going to draw a line between them just so we're not confused. Okay, and I think you should do this just to separate them out. So I'm going to rewrite number 1 because I'm not changing that one. So I've got 2x plus 6y equals 38. So I'm changing this one. So I'm multiplying it all by 2. So I've got 6x plus 6y equals 54. Okay, so now I've made something be the same. Okay, so I've made the y's the same. And that's what I need to try and do at the beginning of each step now. Okay, and what I can do now is, because they're the same, I can take them away. Now, this is something I mentioned in my last video, that if the larger ones are underneath, you just do that one, take away that one instead. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do my takeaway and let's see what we're left with. Okay, 6x take away 2x, I'm left with 4x. 6y take away 6y, nothing. 54 take away 38 is 16. Okay, so what I'm left with there is 4x equals 16. So now I divide each side by 4. So x equals 4. Okay, so the first step is crucial to make sure that you've got something where you can get rid of or eliminate one of the letters. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this. I'm going to substitute it into one of the equations so I can figure out y. Now, for this, you can use any of these equations. So you can use the one that you've changed, or you can use one of the original ones. My advice would be, whenever you're doing this, use one of the original equations, because if you've made one little mistake when changing your equation, you're then using the wrong equation, if that makes sense. So in an exam, if you get this part wrong, so say you put x is 3, but then you substituted it into the first equation and you did it correctly, you'd get some of the marks because you've done the next part right, even though your value is wrong. So always go back to one of the original equations. So I'm going to use the first one. Okay, it's just safe to do that. Okay, right, so I know that it means 2 times x plus 6y equals 38. So we know that x is 4, so I'm going to cross that out and put that it's 4. So 2 times 4 is 8 plus 6y is 38. So now I need to do my takeaways. So take away 8 from each side, which leaves me with 6y equals 30, and then divide by 6, to give me y is equal to 5. My head was already there. So there's our two answers. Okay, right, let's have a look at the next one. Right, let's see if we can find any links between them, like doubling and halving links. So 4 and 3, no. 3 and 5, no. Okay, so this time I need to find a number that they're both going to go into. So I always tend to lean towards making the x's the same. If I've got a choice, because I can't just double or half one of the equations, I would always make the x's the same amount. So the number that 4 and 3 both divide into is 12. So I need to make these both 12, okay? So what I need to do is I need to multiply this first equation by 3 and the second equation by 4. Now you might be thinking, well, you just times by the number that's in front of the x in the opposites. That's right, you can do that. That will work every time, okay? So what I do now is I'm going to draw my line. I will have 2 new equations this time. So let's write those out. So I'm timesing this one by 3. 12x plus 9y equals 54. Okay, no, that's not right. 51, sorry. Okay, and the next one. So 12x plus 20y equals 84. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I've got 2 that are the same, which is what I wanted. So I can take them away from each other. So I'm going to do the bottom one, take away the top one again, because I've obviously got the bigger numbers underneath. So 12x take away 12x, leave me with nothing. 20y take away 9y is 11y. 84 take away 51 is 33. And what I noticed straight away is that feels right, because I know that 11 goes into 33. So if you think it's not right, then you should double check what you're taking away. The questions that I'm setting you are all positives, so you shouldn't have anything negative in there. There shouldn't be anything like that. It could be a decimal though, because some of your questions are working with money. So most of them, it will give you an instinct that feels about right. If you've got something like 1.247935, then you've gone wrong somewhere, okay? If you're looking at money, it's going to be something like £1.24 or 0.35 for 35p. Yeah, it's not going to have lots of numbers after the decimal. Okay, so, sorry, let's carry on with this one then. So, divide each side by 11. So, y equals 3, okay? So now, like I said, use one of the first ones because you might have made a mistake changing these. So I'm going to use 4x plus 3y equals 17. So I've got 4x plus 3 times y is 17. So this time I know that y is 3. So I've got 4x plus 9 equals 17. Right, so let's take 9 away from each side. So I'm left with 4x equals 8, and then divide each side by 4. So x is 4, and there's our 2 answers. Okay, so now I want you to have a go at the questions.